Name is Coach Steve. I am the Affordable Life Coach. Been doing it for over 13 years. And if you're interested in a complimentary consultation and then ridiculously affordable coaching prices afterwards, send me an email. It is in the description. I got off a phone call today. It was a customer service related one. And I just simply wanted to get off a mailing list that somehow I magically got put on. If you are one of those types of people, you can get off the mailing list. You just search Google how to get off mailing lists. There's a lot of good resources, but occasionally I will still get put on a mailing list. And I just hate putting that stuff in the trash. I hate seeing it's just another thing. And people say, oh, well, just put it in the trash. But it's another layer of clutter. It's another thing I have to think about. It's another thing I have to touch, read, look at. Is this something, maybe sometimes even open, is this something that's relevant to me? And I want only essential stuff to spend energy on. I don't want to deal with all the clutter, the marketing, and the rigmarole. It's just unnecessary and it's wasteful, and it should be illegal to send people so much junk mail. It's absolutely insane. And I can't believe how many hoops this morning I had to jump through in order just to get pulled off of a mailing list. And the point of this is not the point of this video. The point of the video is the attitude that the person that I was talking to gave me, and how people use emotional manipulation, and like she was getting subtly annoyed with me and upset with me, and you could tell it, but she was trying to hide it, but it was leaking out. And I was like, man, this is such a good video topic, because I started questioning myself. I'm going, oh, maybe what I'm asking is unreasonable and I should not push the issue. So basically, I was trying to get off the mailing list, and I called customer service, and they're like, oh, we can't do it. We have to transfer you to another person. And then when we transfer you to another person, you have to start all over again, explain what you want, give your information again. And I've always found, just as a rule of thumb, have these people the people in customer service read back what the information you give to them. Because I've had where they spell my name wrong, they spell my email address wrong, they get the address wrong, and I always confirm and double check. It's just a general rule in life. It avoids so much extra work down the line and so many mistakes. But it's really interesting, and maybe the people in customer service, they get paid by just rushing through the call. And so that's part of the reason why, and they have like a timer, and they get evaluated how long each call takes. I'm sure that's a big part of it. But I was just asking her, could you please read the information back to me? And she was like, I got the information. And then she's like, reluctantly, like I've asked her to, pull out one of her teeth or something like that. Then she's like, and again, it was subtle, but it was just the attitude that came across, and the way she read the information back, and the way that, like, I would ask her and then she ignored it, and then I had to ask her again, can you please, I'd like to confirm the information. And the thing that I notice in those situations, there's a tendency that I do, is I try to be very nice about it and polite. And it's almost like people respect you less, sometimes, not all people, if you do it that way. I said, oh, would you mind, reading the information? Because, and I gave the reason, because, people misspell names and misspell addresses and streets and email addresses and so on and so forth. And if you say it that way, I've noticed that people think because you're being overly nice, like it's an unnecessary request. Versus I've just said, oh, I need you to please confirm that information, please, or can you please confirm that information back? That's it. Just keep it simple and direct. But how many times do we do that in our life with other people? Like, I was going, am I being too meticulous here? Because of the way it took me over 20, it was like a 22-minute call just to get taken off a mailing list, which is insane because it's so easy for them to put us on a mailing list. And I'm like, I'm spending 22 minutes for a mailing list I never asked to be put on. This woman is giving me attitude, and I did nothing wrong, and now I'm questioning myself. I'm like, whoa, and that's the thing I realized, and luckily I caught it. I was like, oh, maybe I'm being unreasonable by asking her to repeat everything back to me. But it shows the power of guilting or shaming someone or pulling an attitude. What she was trying to do is control my behavior. Stop asking me. I don't want to give you back the information. I want to read back the information, what you want. And then she would read back the information, and then she would just read it back. I say, can you please spell, some of this back to me? Because that's where the errors occur. Oh my God. It was really interesting. I'm sure you've all been through that. And that is happening on an ongoing basis with people that we work with. I'm sure we do it to other people. I'm sure I do it to other people unaware. I really try to be vigilant of that by disapproving of what the other person's doing or saying instead of just communicating with them. Like, I would have respected her a lot more if she just would have said, listen, sir, I get paid by the phone call. I've been doing my job for a long time. I absolutely know what you said to me, and it's not necessary for me to read it back, but if you still want me to do that, I will do it. I'm like, okay, that I can respect instead of the attitude. But we have this passive-aggressive way to engage with people that makes them feel bad or makes them feel like they're doing something wrong. And I'm saying, don't bend the knee. Don't give in to that type of manipulation and control. And again, it happens a lot. And I notice, especially like in customer service situations, because like now most things are run by big corporations that are hiring people that don't have a lot of knowledge, don't have a lot of experience, are making very low wages. And so there's not a connection between the customer and the business owner or the business in the way, maybe 50 years ago, where it was like businesses were local, not everything was a chain. You go in, the person, you've been going into, you've been patronizing that business for many, many years, and you built a relationship. We don't have relationships anymore. We don't have relationships with our neighbors. Like, everything is so isolated and impersonal and cold. So when you come across those types of people, call them out on it. And I didn't do that with her. I have done that with other customer service reps or just even other people, even clients that I work with. And when I notice, because I do like to ask deeper questions. I do like to challenge people on their beliefs, their values, and to tell them the truth. And people are not used to that. And I much prefer that someone just expresses, and sometimes clients will get like defensive or they'll get upset or they'll get angry. It doesn't happen very often because, if you watch my videos, that's what you're in for when you go for coaching. It's not just passive. We're not just going to sit here and oh yes, that's wonderful. Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. That must be hurtful. This is more proactive. When I coach, it's proactive and it's honest and it's something that it's exciting. It's just an exciting way to communicate with people. Just share what you're feeling. And so I have said to some of the customer service reps, like, you know what, I feel like you're upset with me. Are you upset with me? Because like the attitude that you're giving me, and again, I feel is a more disarming than saying you're being rude, you're being this. It's not attacking. It's just like, this is what I feel. Are you having a tough day? And that kind of just like wakes them up and gets you not to, that they won't treat you like just another number or a call to hang up on as soon as possible. And we just don't have that. And so when you feel, I felt like a little bit emotionally bullied, and this was mild, but it was annoying, and this was I've had it a lot worse because I'm very assertive in these situations, and they're not used to that, and so they really push back, and they'll really try to make you feel like you're in the wrong. And how many times do we cave or capitulate because we don't want to be offensive? We don't want to have confrontation, even though we're not being offensive, we're not doing anything rude. We don't want to speak up what we truly believe. We just fear. There's so much fear that permeates our social interactions that it's inauthentic. It's not real. We don't have real, honest, open communication with people. And when we do, the people are so shocked to hear something that's honest and open like that, that they're like, they can get emotionally hostile towards you, but you stand your ground and you just be calm, you be relaxed, and you just be assertive. You be honest. Like social anxiety, come on, social anxiety is because we take the cowardly way in our communication. And the more you avoid things that you fear, the greater the strength. You empower, you embolden, you encourage the fear. You just keep it alive. And so when you're in these types of situations, push back, don't let them bully you around, and stop censoring yourself. We self-censor, and it's something, even though this is what I do, this is my career, I'll occasionally find myself still self-censoring, and I just got to go, okay, catch it. I need to say the thing that I am. This person might have like an uncomfortable reaction. Like, uncomfortable conversations are a good thing. They're not a bad thing. Being honest with people is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It builds a deeper, richer connection with the other person. We just want everything to be so flowery and unoffensive and non-triggering, and we'll melt. It's just, let's build some resiliency by toughening up and doing things that scare us. And I'm talking about communication. And again, please understand this. I'm not talking about being hateful, being rude, being obnoxious. But there can be healthy conflict in conversation where you're both remain, or at least one party especially, remains non-emotional, and you're just trying to get the other person to understand your perspective. And now that I'm making this video, I look back and I go, I didn't get her to understand my perspective. And I should have communicated with that customer service rep. Like, I feel like you're rushing me through this call. I feel like you don't want me to double check the information. And that only means I'm gonna have to call back, in another month, to try to get off the mailing list. There have been times when I have had to call 4 or 5 times to finally get put off the mailing list. And it's not when I call, I'm more assertive and I go up the food chain, because otherwise it's just like they just, okay, yeah, and they don't do anything with your information, or it goes through the bureaucracy and red tape. But man, people are not used to other people being assertive, and it's something that gives you confidence. It feels so darn good, man. It feels good to be assertive and to express how you feel, and it's attractive to the right type of other people. When I am around bold people, it's like a magnet. I want to talk to them. I want to know them. And when they say things that are uncomfortable, or that they know is going to get judged, and they still stick by what they said, it's just a beautiful thing to witness. And now with all what's in the political climate, the cultural climate, everyone, we're living in fear. We're walking on eggshells, afraid we're saying the wrong thing, and you get just a lot of fake superficiality and a lack of meaningful, deep connections. The connections become just superficial. Oh, we have a diverse workplace, or I have a diverse group of friends, but we don't really connect and we don't really share honest things because we're so worried about offending the other person. Like, being honest means sometimes it's going to be offensive. The truth can be offensive. Truth can be hard to hear, but it's an act of love when it's coming from a place of love. Like, some of the hardest things that I've heard, or some of the things I've shared with other people, it's been the most beneficial. And so, like, let's just not live our lives in fear, and let's not allow other people with their bad attitudes or their annoyances or their guilting and shaming of us. Let us squash who we are and what we want to express. And if you're interested in help down this path, it really makes a world of difference. It really transforms your life. Having a life coach and having support, having gentle accountability, having strategies, and getting a different perspective that you're most likely not going to hear from the circle, friends, family, and the circle that you currently hang around. So if you're interested, send me an email. It's in the description. If you want to like and comment and subscribe, that's greatly appreciated. And yeah, you give me some constructive feedback, in this video or my videos, where you think I'm wrong, or what I can improve, or what I could do better, and also things that you like. It's also helpful for me. Not saying that I'll agree with everything, but at least we can have disagreements and have open, healthy dialogue and conversation. And if you want to support the channel, it's greatly appreciated. Even if it's a small donation, the PayPal link is in the description. And I look forward to the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.